99, you go find that one. Look from the locks and jaws of Satan, I come create, penetrate the force from the land of the Lord. Come like Muhammad got the devil on the run. Rise like the sun, keep your eyes on the one hooked on base. Let it bring forth a reborn nation, up against the norm, creating a new formation. This foundation that I be standing on is firm. Look, y'all, we must learn, oh, as a people we gon' burn in the fire. Let's join hands with the Messiah, the Lamb be Elijah. For real, I ain't no liar, my deepest desire be to resurrect the carcass. Breathe like venom, then squeeze out all the venom with momentum and skill. We'll kill Satan at will. You and I be connected, protected by his evil's will for real. I can sense a mental explosion on the move as God's chosen. Proceeding in motion, we become, yes, indeed, the parts of forming. Running about a her, cause Babylon is falling, living all in the midst of devilish anguish. His aim is to kill us all with this language. He's the mischief maker, plus he's wicked by nature, the modern mind shape. So hey, will Jacob wake up the lion? He's in Judah sleep. I wonder who will wake him, bring him to his feet. Speak now, or forever hold your peace. The violence of this beast must cease. Look out, I see a lion. Where he's in Judah sleep. I wonder who will wake him, bring him to his feet. Speak now, or forever hold your peace. The violence of this beast must cease. Now look for 4 days, he's been sleeping in the tomb. Fed like the sun, no light, it's like the moon. His blood is be maroon, thus it covers the earth. Crucified daily and wait for his new birth. For real, the truth hurts the wicked evil doer. He knows that the future will bring a new ruler. So look, don't let him fool you with his maneuvers and whips. Seeking, you'll find that he uses symbolism with this rhythm. Black will represent the hesitant brains. Hit him, water down the flames and sort out the remains. Everything must change, nothing stays the same. Our struggles been ordained, so just chill, maintain. I know it's strange, but look, one came to raise us up. Farad has arrived, beware, don't self-destruct, keep the focus. The red dragon's coming with the locusts. Some don't notice, so they engage in shit that's bogus. But look like Moses, I'ma free you from your mind, from those who oppress with the evil minds. I promise you, I'm a fun this every
They look okay.
My people gotta know, so I can't hope that
Look in front of us.
we gotta resurrect. We expect to be here now. We have to see the sense. It's all in our midst. It's the shock of the hour, man. The clock be stuck on 6. I wonder who can fix this problem from Zion. I'm in the wilderness trying to wake the dead lion. There's a lion away. He's in Judah sleep. I wonder who will wake him, bring him to his feet. Speak now, or forever hold your peace. The balance of this beast must cease. Look out, I see a lion away. He's in Judah sleep. I wonder who will wake him, bring him to his feet. Speak now, or forever hold your peace. The balance of this beast must cease. I think these bones as they lie, still drying the path. Buried under rubbish, darkness covers the body, there's no consciousness. There's no physical pulse. Walking dead in Israel, be that sheep that's lost. Cotton pie, the false image, they don't know what sin is. And if for every mark that beats crooked minutes, it's continuous beating. If for repentance is needed, wickedness can be defeated. When we submit it to the leader, this beast be heated. He knows the fire's kindling. The curtains in that land of Midian be trembling. I see a similar, large double in the middle. Coming from out the rain to never go back in again. Lazarus, come forward, remove that napkin, take it off. The force be with you, so why you let him leave your voice out?
Once again, this is the Get To Free Press, and I'm George Boston Rise, and I was called to Waycross, Georgia. When I received the same email that was addressed to all other news media outlets here in the South Georgia, in the eastern part of Georgia, as well as the Jacksonville area, I drove from Valdosta because, as I've said before, I do want you all to know what other news media outlets apparently do not want you to know. We are here, just Bobby Worthy and myself. We've had some people to pass by and blow. I don't know whether they came by to check and see if anything was going on. But I'm a firm believer that it's not always about the crowd. You heard the words from Bobby Worthy. I've had my differences with him. But there's one thing I know. I know that when the young football player over in Brunswick, I think it was, he needed support. And so when I got there, Bobby Worthy was there. I know that when Olivia Coley Pearson, commissioner, just like all these other black elected officials, was under attack, and we met in Douglas, I know that Bobby Worthy was there. With the Quitman 10+2 over in Brooks County, when a lot of people, until this day, have never even heard of them, what I know is that Bobby Worthy was there. In Gordon, Georgia, when Mayor Ann Whippaloo was under attack by a group of citizens called themselves the White Citizen Council, I believe it is, he was there time and time again. He also went to the judicial qualification with approximately 65 applications, I believe it was, to do certain things. But the bottom line was, I cannot, just because I have a difference with him or if I have a difference with you, I'm still not going to ignore the truth. I'm going to continue to walk this line because as Amos 7:8 down through the 9th or 10th verse says, when Amos saw God standing on a wall made with a plumb line, Amos asked God, and God asked Amos, what seest thou? And he said, a plumb line. And God said to that beautiful brother, say, behold, I will set a plumb line in the midst of my people Israel, and I will not bypass them anymore. Now we are living at a dispensation when we know who the ancient Hebrews are. It is the black man, woman, and their children throughout this planet Earth. And so it's time now for us to get out of the syndrome of the what I call the dipping attitude, where we duplicate Jesus, imitate Muhammad, and placate the rest of them. And so now I'm going to ask Bobby Worthy to come. I'm going to let him talk. I'm not going to let him talk because I don't have authority to let him talk. I'm going to ask him to speak. First, I want him to tell us what news media outreach did he seek to be here today, and then I want us to tell us why he is even here in the first place. Come on, my beautiful brother, and get with us. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, tell us, first of all, did you indeed notify the news media here in the United States of America? And if so, who did you notify?
Yes, I notified all major news media, Jacksonville News 4, Action News 30, First Coast News, the Florida Times Union. I sent it to the Georgia Times Union. I sent it to the Waycross Journal Herald, the local newspaper here, and I sent it to newspapers in Jacksonville as well, the black newspapers.
Did you send it to the Ghetto Free Press?
And I sent it to the Ghetto Free Press.
And we're here.
And we're here.
And we are here because we care. And because we don't want to see people deaf, dumb, and blind to the times and unable to make intelligent decisions based on facts. I listened to you out there today, my beautiful brother. Now, I don't want you to use the profanity, because if you use the profanity, I can't put it on my channel. But all points of view that deal with the truth, we want it out there, number one. So why did you even email these news media? What presented that in your head that you wanted to get it out to the general public?
Well, first of all, it started as you from the hearing on the 18th of this month, where I had a hearing for a police officer trying to take a warrant out on me for communicating harassment and a good behavior warrant, basically a protected order. And basically, to make a long story short, the judge rules that there was no crime committed whatsoever. But he did say that he didn't see no crime the original crime was communicating harassment. He said he didn't see that. Then they tried disorderly. They tried Facebook stalking. He didn't see nothing with that. So he said basically what he was going to do is just issue an abeyance order. An abeyance order is just like a temporary restraining order that she stay away from me and I stay away from her. And I asked him how would that happen if she's riding down the road and I'm driving down the road doing 80 miles an hour and she stopped me. I mean, would she be in violation of that order? And to get right to the point, the judge don't have that authority to change the Constitution. And that's what he did. He infringed on my constitutional right. The magistrate judges are the lowest of the judges on the poll of judges in the state of Georgia. The magistrate is at the lowest part. Even the probate judge is higher than the magistrate judge. So thus, if you are at the lowest part, then how do you have the authority to change what the U.S. Supreme Court and the Georgia Supreme Court rule? Your arms don't reach that high. So I have been in contact with the FBI to file criminal charges on both judges involved. The chief judge, Nation Grantham here, the Woodbine judge that they brought in, William Ash, and Charles Brown, another magistrate judge here, that also did the same thing to me on the previous charge I had for Facebook stalking. He issued an order for me to stay away from the police department. That was a stipulation in my bond agreement when I was illegally arrested for that. That hadn't went to trial yet, but the statute of limitations is up on that one. But long story short, I called this rally today to bring awareness that this is not an infringement on me, on my rights, or attack on me. It's an infringement on our rights toward the Constitution to free speech. If he'll do it to me, he'll definitely do it to you.
Okay, why do you believe that your civil rights organizations, such as the major acronyms in this country, why don't they see a need to come and at least sit down with you and talk about this issue? Because I too have had experiences with these judges, with juvenile judges, with the judge up in Gordon, Georgia area up there, and others in dealing with these 18 to 35 mistreated black elected officials. And so why is it that the NAACP, well, like I said, all these major black acronyms, why is it that they don't come and address these issues? Because you are saying that it's not just you, and I agree with that. But why is it that when we call on the black respected organizations to help these same people that come to you for help, why is it that they won't come to do anything?
Because to me, I think these major organizations like the NAACP have sold out to corporate America. I think the more money you can put into them or give to these organizations, and then they'll show up. And this is just my opinion. My opinion is that there's nothing wrong with the organizations themselves. Mm-hmm. It's the people that's running the organizations that's cowards, and they want to talk, especially the NAACP. Every NAACP meeting you go to, they got an issue. They always want to talk about the Freedom Fund Banquet. The Freedom Fund Banquet is the NAACP key to financial gain. That's what it is. They make a lot of money off the Freedom Fund Banquet that does nothing. You're not getting involved in no issues. You're not filing no paperwork. You can't even get these people lawyers. And the first thing a person says when you see them at the NAACP is, "Sir, oh, well, are you a member?" "No, I'm not." "Well, what's wrong with you joining $30? But you need to be asking, what do I get for those $30? Besides a plastic card with a membership name on it that I can't even use. And I'm not even going to go there with my personal experience with the NAACP and how they did me.
Okay, now, I'm under a criminal trespass for 4 years, and I bear witness that the local, state, county, and federal law enforcement and judicial systems will not even come to say boo. And they know that they did me wrong. They know that. They gave me and put me under a criminal trespass following the death of Kendrick Johnson. And not even once did any agency in America said, you served your country for over 20-some years, and we're going to at least give you the time of day. They didn't do that. No judge in the Superior Court of Lowndes County, no police officer at any level came to me and said, Ryan, I had one to tell me they mistreated you. And I must acknowledge I got to backtrack. Every agency that I went to dealing with the justice system, such as the magistrate court, they say they did you wrong because they didn't put nothing in writing. But yet they have taken away my rights as a citizen of the United States of freedom of movement, and I cannot go on any part of the Lowndes County school property throughout the county. That's what was said and transmitted over the Lowndes County Sheriff Deputy radio, and Thomas was there that that banned me, but was nothing in writing. Now they are saying they don't have nothing on me, but I asked them to remove me in writing, and they will not do it. Now, I said all that to bring this back at you. Do you believe that all of what we are watching, they are eating away with our rights real slowly? They are banning us. They are taking us before magistrates, doing what they want to do, and the average black person, the average white person, don't understand that there's a possibility that they're going to do it to us, and then they're going to do it to all the people of America. And when we look around, all of our rights will be gone.
Yes, I do believe that. I believe that we're moving to more of a dictatorship instead of a free society of government. And to be truthful and honest, I think that's what we need. Because maybe it'll wake some people up. You know, like when we was in Ferguson, they was talking about declaring martial law. Okay, please do. But what you got to realize about martial law, it go both ways. That means martial law suspends the Constitution and the laws. Thus, if the Constitution and laws are suspended, then there's no such thing as murder. There's no such thing as robbery. There's no such thing as killing somebody or beating somebody. So it goes both ways. You know, and we don't want that, but our government is moving from a system of government. Like I said, there is nothing wrong with the laws in place. I'm promising. There is nothing wrong with the laws in place. It's the people that they have over the laws in place. Just like the judges. If the judges were held to a higher standard and accountable for what they do and what they say on the bench, like when Judge Ash in this court called me a watchdog, that's just like calling me a nigger. You know, I'm not a dog. Don't look like no dog. I don't walk around all fours. A dog is the lowest of all things. So they're slowly taking away our rights, like you said, so that we can move to a dictatorship of government totally rule. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. And even that, with that said, there was a security put in place for us to protect us from the abuse and power of the government. And it's called the Declaration of Independence. And it clearly states that when any form of government becomes destructive of its means, the power reverts back to the people. It is up to the people to either alter, abolish, or institute a new government. And I have an online petition for that. So technically, we have the legal right to tell our government, you are done. We're done with you. We don't want you no more.
What do you say, because I heard you talking, and I don't want a long drawn out, I'm going to ask you a few questions. I want bullet answers. What do you think of the local community leaders here in Waycross, without the profanity? Just what do you think of them?
One word, cowards.
Okay, what do you think about the judicial system here in Waycross and the police department, who possibly know what's going on but won't speak up?
Racism to a extent that some are not. And even there, then the reason I say that is because you do have some good police officers. Don't get me wrong. All police officers are not bad like everybody say I think it is. But if you got good police officers not exposing bad police officers, then explain to me how they're a good police officer. Because their own code of ethics, government services code of ethics, is that they're supposed to expose corruption. Why they ain't doing that? So that's back to what I said. If there's so much good cops, then why are the good cops not exposing the bad cops?
So you've heard of something called the Green Code of Silence, haven't you?
Yes.
I'm sorry, the Blue Code. Blue or green, I guess you said the same thing. But now, why is it? Now, I need your answer on this one. I've asked it before in a video I put up this week. How can the black police officers distinguish a cell phone from a 9mm and the white male police officers cannot?
racism, fear.
Well, you call the fear. All right, let me put it in another form. How could it be that the black female officers can distinguish from a cell phone to from a 38? Because apparently they're not shooting down white people like white people are shooting down black folks. So the black police officers, we got to commend them, because we don't see them just going out putting their knee on a white woman's neck or on her nose, or a black police officer choking, putting white women and children in the chokehold. We don't see that on TV as much as we see the children of the former slave masters.
Okay. Well, to get to the point about them putting their arms around it, and that's a good point you brought about that, about the arms around you. Let me explain to you. If you go to church, any standard operating procedure for police departments, you'll find that the use of deadly force is at last resort, for one, they don't ever mention. And second of all, at no time is they supposed to ever put their arms around your neck, put a knee on their neck, anyone. That is what they are trained, because it only takes 3 pounds of pressure to break the neck. They are never supposed to subdue you by putting their arms around your neck, but they do it all the time. And you know why they do it all the time? Because it's human nature, and they get away with it. Just like these magistrates think they done got away with what they did, but I'm going to fight to the last breath.
In closing, I'm going to ask you again. I've asked you on other videos. What make you do what you do when so many other black and white people will not? What makes you tick, my brother?
Well, the thing is this is my high. This is what you call my crack cocaine. This is my sale and distribution back to them, to let them know that they will get punished, that somebody is watching them. And definitely ain't a government watchdog. Like I said, this is my enjoyment. My enjoyment in life is letting these people know that there's somebody that ain't gonna take what you do and accept everything you say.
And did not the founding fathers put something in place to ensure that the people of this country would have some type of way to addressing everybody, law enforcement, the judges, and all of them, when they step outside the bounds of their rights and authority by an amendment that they added? What amendment was that?
It was Declaration of Independence. Okay. And Declaration of Independence, like I said, clearly by the government, same thing. It gives you the right to petition the government for redress of grievance. So the amendment of the Constitution, the Declaration, gives you that right to address any government issues. And I'm here to tell you again that, like the judge said, the attorney has the officer has a right to privacy. Yes, she does at her house. She doesn't have a right to privacy if she's in that uniform that taxpayers dollars pay for, which I explained to the judge, and that the squad car that taxpayers dollars pay for. Let's do a scenario. Let's just say she off duty. All right, she off duty, she driving, any police officer. I'm driving off duty, they riding down the road doing 80 miles an hour. They hit a citizen. Would the city or the county be liable?
I was in the courtroom, and I don't want you to necessarily address this officer, I'll do it. But the officer that was in the courtroom with you right here at this magistrate court, and I was here, and I got a copy of the audio. My question is this, very simple, I think, and hope, is that she was in her duty uniform, she had on her firearm, and she was driving that police vehicle. Now, and she was in a retail store shopping. Now, if a gun had accidentally went off some hypothetical situation, I think that police officers have to have a bond.
Yes.
So would the insurance company been held liable to take care of that child or any victim that could have been shot, although she was off duty, en route home? Would that been applicable in this situation? That's my final question.
Yes, they would have been. She would have been liable for anything she does while she's in uniform and in that squad car. The taxpayer dollar for she's a reasonable person would assume she's on duty. They wouldn't know she was off duty. So thus she is still liable, and the insurance, the bonding agent, the company would be liable.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Any closing remarks for us?
Peace, black power.
Right on, my brother. Today is a day that Bobby undoubtedly was expecting more news media. I wasn't disappointed at all. I think he was expecting for somewhat of a little crowd to be here. I was not. I'm used to this. I'm used to this. I'm used to this. And peace be unto you. And once again, the Ghetto Free Press. The train is coming, so we're going to get out of the way. But we're not going to get out until we give you the truth. By right or done.
Greetings. This is the Get to Free Press, and we report what others ignore. This is your First Amendment right to know without whiteouts from a controlled news media whiteout network. And we are located in Valdosta, Georgia, and we are here to inform, educate, and persuade if necessary. Always keep that in mind. Moreover, I want to say to you that as a community, state, nation, and world, we are not who we claim to be, but who we prove ourselves to be over a given period of time. And if we are a liar, time will tell. And if we are a racist or a hater, time will tell. And our righteous and holy God already know. So you are only fooling yourselves. Again, the Ghetto Free Press. I'm George Foster Rhymes.